funny to me with everything that's going on in the news. All right, so Chris Cuomo reportedly wants an arbitrator so he can get $125 million, okay, because he felt that he was wrongfully terminated, all right? And he is throwing his friend, his brother, his alleged side piece, Don Lemon, under the bus, y'all. He's throwing him under the bus. He is saying in his report, part of his, what his attorneys are saying, that Don Lemon unethically aided Jussie Smollett and telling him that the Chicago police are accusing him of basically being a liar. Okay, this is why I tell y'all, ain't no friends in Hollywood, ain't no friends in this media business, okay? Everybody's just really out for themselves, all right? So he reportedly wants $125 million, and he is saying that CNN knew that he was aiding his brother, right? Look, I don't know who to believe because both sides are unethical here. Both sides lost the credibility that they have had, okay, in the past. You got Jeff Zucker, who's dating his subordinate, allegedly smashing the girl since they both was married to two different people. That same chick was working for Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo's brother. So I personally don't know who to believe in this situation because all sides are pieces of shit. And however, I do have an inkling and a feeling, of course, he probably didn't know. He probably didn't know about the whole situation. Come on now, you cannot be dicking down your subordinate at CNN who used to work for your one of your colleagues who's below you, Chris Cuomo. Okay, it don't make it's all tied together. You got Jeff Zucker dicking down a CNN marketing head. Okay, is the reason why she got marketing head as her title. Okay, got it as her title. All right, and she formerly worked for the Andrew Cuomo administration, right? And so then you have a high-profile anchor, one of the most high-rated shows on that show called Chris Cuomo. You can't tell me that Jeff Zucker did not know, or Alison Gullis did not inform Mr. Jeff Zucker throughout these years of them smashing it while they both was married allegedly to two different people about the whole Andrew Cuomo and what he's trying to do to save his credibility in his career. Come on now. Really? And so Chris Cuomo in his statement with the lawyer is throwing Don Lemon under the bus. But look, Don Lemon privately threw him under the bus, saying that he should not be compensated, allegedly saying that what is it going to say for people in the future who leave their jobs under wrong conditions, and if they sue, they'll be able to get money. They'll be able to get money over this kind of situation. I told you there ain't no friends in Hollywood. There's no friends in Hollywood. Ain't no such thing in Hollywood or in the news business, right? But yeah, he feels betrayed. He feels betrayed by Don Lemon. He feels betrayed by the dude that looked like Dr. Phil, but older than Dr. Phil, but he's 36 years old. He looks older than Dr. Phil. Brian Stetler, because Brian Stetler pretty much has a show called Reliable Sources that badmouths the former colleagues, right? He badmouthed Chris Cuomo before he got fired on Stephen Colbert, right? To promote his own damn book, right? So y'all, it's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess at CNN. It's hilarious. It's funny. This thing is hilarious. You have a former person that worked for NBC as a president, right? Named Jeff Zucker. Then he gets hired at CNN as a president, gets fired again. That's dangerous. That's literally dangerous. And it's concerning to me. And I wish someone can address how you get fired at one network as a president and get rehired at another network with the same title, right? It just doesn't make sense. That's dangerous. It's not like you work for McDonald's. You're making burgers, okay? You got fired from Burger King. Now you're working at McDonald's. That's a different thing. That's a low-skilled menial job. We're talking about a president of a news business that's supposed to have a fiduciary duty to give us facts and information about what's going on nationally and globally, right? You get fired from two networks. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Dangerous, highly dangerous, and it's highly concerning. Okay, I don't know, because he's a white man. I'm not sure if that's the reason or what it is, or maybe he's best friends with the CEO of CNN, Jason Kilar. I don't know what it is or what have you. I don't see that as ethical thing to do to rehire somebody within the same position they got fired for previously at a different network. That's just crazy. That's crazy. This is why this situation happened because so I not only just blame Jeff Zucker and Alison Gullis and Chris Cuomo, also blame the CEO of CNN, the owner of CNN, because it's like, why hire somebody? Why hire somebody that got fired from NBC? He got fired from NBC, then he brought up the same chick who he was hatching up with at CNN at NBC before he got a job at CNN, when they didn't even have a position for her, right? He just wanted her there around him while they both were married to two different people, right? Katie Couric spilled that tea, all right? So it just doesn't make any sense, right? And this is why people frown upon media. This is why there's a high distrust on national media and even on local media, is because you have these kind of gossiping allegations and people, fucking the boss on the casting couch. And this is why people have a lack of trust, not only because it's partisan, but also because it's a lot of drama and a lot of ghetto-ness behind the scenes. All right. And this is ghetto. This situation at CNN is ghetto, from Jeff Zucker to Alison Gullis to Chris Cuomo to Jeff Toobin masturbating on Zoom and still being able to have his job at CNN as a legal analyst. Right? You can't be a legal analyst at CNN stroking your stick on Zoom and then talking about Harvey Weinstein in the same sentence. You can't be doing that, right? Come on now. Come on. Ooh, y'all. But y'all, I just need to get off of here and hash my mindset, because I'm having an interesting day today, and I don't understand where media is going, and I just don't understand this whole partisanship that we have in media. That's just not who I am, and that's not what I want to be. Everybody's gonna get the business with me, and yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. My brother. I made a video last year saying Chris Cuomo using that word, my brother. That word is often used for non people who aren't of the black minority race. I hate when people say brother. Don't call me brother. Don't call me that, please. Don't. Unfortunately, DEF CON, that's not the, weren't you on my live stream yesterday trolling, I believe? But anyways, that's not the, what people want to see. They don't want the truth. They want partisanship. They want me to speak on the other side in a negative way. And I'm not doing that. That's not being honest. But yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy what's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, but yeah, I wanted to do a live stream today, but I tried, but nobody came on. See, partisanship, man. Partisanship only gets your views nowadays. That's it. That's the only thing that gets your views is partisanship. But anyways, I'm about to get off of here and mind my own business. Bye-bye. I am confused. I am Teresa Jones. I'm confused. I'm confused at life. I'm so confused. You have Joe Biden calling Putin a war criminal when literally Joe Biden is a criminal. Hello, Iraq. Hello. I'm confused. I'm confused of a business that I've always wanted to be in since the 6th grade. I'm just confused. I am confused because it's like, it's no winning. It's just no winning. I'm confused. You're right. I am, because people's confusion is people's celebration. People's goal in media is to have other people to be confused by only being partisan and bashing the other party versus not bashing their own. They're acting like their party is all peaches and cream and tastes like strawberries, right? I'm not about to bash the Republican Party when literally that party that I thought I was in 2 years ago is the same shit. Like, I'm not doing that. So yes, I'm confused. I am confused, hey, Patricia. Yeah, I'm confused. Baby, I am confused. I am. You're right. I'm confused. So I'm confused of how you hire somebody that got fired from the same position at a different network. I don't know if it's because he's a white man. I don't know, because he looked like Mr. Clean. I don't understand that. I don't get it. The media business is obviously just like the political business. So yes, I'm confused. I need a life coach. You know, so I'm confused. I may just be a comedian. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a comedian and make people laugh. That's what I want to do. And obviously, Don Lemon loved Chris Cuomo because, come on now. Don Lemon and Brian Stelter weren't good friends. The only reason Don Lemon was friends or wanted to be the TV friends with Chris Cuomo is because he had a crush on him, right? And Chris Cuomo is allegedly fluid, right? And so I'm sure they probably smashed behind the scenes allegedly before they went on air. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Let's just be honest here. I'm sure they smashed because, Chris Cuomo is a more better looking of Don Lemon's fiance, right? They kind of look like twins. They kind of look alike, except Chris Cuomo is more of a masculine looking person, and he got a little muscles, little muscle onto him. Yeah, I'm sure they, because some there was a person that used to work for the industry that wrote a book about the news anchors and everything, and he wrote about Chris Cuomo basically putting his hand on a openly gay producer's lap in order for that producer to showcase his story on air. This is when Chris Cuomo was first starting out at CNN, allegedly. Hey, Patricia, there's no update on that. I've been looking. I won't be surprised if they seal that case. Like they sealed Colin Kaepernick's case. Like, I won't be surprised. So, and then you got Colin Kaepernick begging to play to be in the NFL when he accused them of slavery, right? I've been practicing for 5 years, and I'm still waiting on that call. I'm like, dude, you can't bash the people and expect them to call you, So I've been practicing, for the NFL for 5 years. Like he posted on Twitter that I'm like, dude, Colin Kaepernick is giving me Nene Leakes vibes from Bravo, accusing Bravo of discrimination, accusing her own team of discrimination, but not providing proof. That's what Colin Kaepernick is giving me, right? Oh, So, but anyways, yeah, I'm sure they'll sell out. They would probably settle out in court or something. It would be closed case. But yeah, but he has a point. Chris Cuomo has a point. He brought up in his statement that Don Lemon sort of aided Jussie Smollett, right? And so there wasn't no slap on the wrist for that. He didn't get in trouble for that. That's unethical journalism. Nowadays journalism is strung loosely, right? With the Don Lemons, the Tucker Carlsons, all of them, they call themselves journalists, right? When they commentate, they're commentators. Sonny Hostins, those people, they call themselves journalists, but they're not journalists, they're commentators, right? So he has a point in that that's bad behavior. That's bad behavior. But yeah, so yeah. Exactly. He thirsty. Why would you want to play with people you say embody slavery? Pretty much. Thank you. Exactly. And I heard he had an opportunity years ago with the 49ers, I believe, but he didn't want it, or he did something wrong. He had an opportunity years ago. So it's like everything's not about race. Yes, I'm sure like the majority of people behind the scenes are of the white race, right? People that are up there, but so are the talk shows, The Real, The Talk, The View, all of them, don't look like you and I are upstairs on the 9th, 10th floor where the real money is. The people that look you and I are touted publicly for us to like say, okay, they doing their jobs. They won't know what's going on behind the scenes, but no, Deadline just released an article per the NAACP yesterday that told us that there's a scarcity of black people in Hollywood executive roles. I talked about it yesterday on video. It's a scarcity. I'm like, duh. This is what I've been saying for years with shows like The View and The Real and The Talk and all of them. Yeah, they want to talk about minorities and diversity and all of that, blah, blah, blah. But y'all got to realize that's a mission statement and that's a vision statement because they know there's money from that to have that on a public scale. But behind the scenes, baby, it's still like the 1950s, okay? 1940s, 1930s, all right? Come on now. Let's just be honest. Come on. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest and clear about the whole situation. It's behind the scenes. It's the same thing. At least Fox News tout how they feel publicly. ABC touts that privately, okay? Like, come on now. Let's just be honest. But yeah, Teresa, I'm confused. I'm just, my mind is is circulating. I'm overthinking. I'm thinking too much. I'm confused. I'm having a midlife crisis. Although I'm not in my mid-20s anymore. I'm having a third life crisis, not a quarter life crisis anymore, because I'm getting up there in age. So yes, I'm confused. This is why I tell y'all they ain't no friends in media. Okay, I told y'all, like, at the end of the day, don't shit where you eat, because at the end of the day, the money is what it is, and that's what's going to set you away from this job is the money, right? You know, my brother, brother. Like when they called each other brother on, and they had a podcast together and everything. Hey brother, hey brother. You know, and they had a crush. He had a crush on Chris Cuomo. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Come on now, come on. So, anyways, I don't know. I need to travel. I need to go overseas. I need to get away from the United States of America. I'm tired of this country. I need to go away. I need a vacation, y'all. I need a vacation. But yeah. So, Meghan McCain decided to blast Kim Kardashian. Wrong messenger again. Like, I don't need Meghan McCain to try to correct Kim Kardashian when both of y'all come from the two types of same family with the silver spoon. Wrong person again. Right message. Wrong person. I don't need Meghan McCain to tell Kim Kardashian about people suffering during COVID or what have you, or people losing their jobs and trying to get a stimulus check and get unemployment. Again, wrong messenger, right message. So as far it's basically like Meghan McCain blasting Kim Kardashian is equivalent to Paris Hilton blasting Kim Kardashian. She said, "You got rich people talking." Okay, I don't want to hear rich people talking about working hard. I don't need rich people that come from rich upbringing talking about working hard. I don't need that. Okay, I don't need it. Right? I have more inspiration from someone like a Wendy Williams saying, "Work hard, get off your ass and work." That brings inspiration because it's like, she is speaking what she lived, right? I don't need somebody to not speak what they lived, right? To speak what they not lived. I mean, I don't need that, all right? So, again, wrong person, right message, right? I never understood why we look for people to help us while saying out loud they're horrible and evil. Yeah, like, for instance, my governor today was talking about, minimum wage hasn't been risen since like the early 2000s. I'm like, well, people need to stop relying on government to father and mother them and get a skill or a trade. Problem solved. Exactly. I'm not relying on minimum wage to be up. Get a skill, get a trade, and work for it. Problem solved, right? And my governor, he's a moderate Democrat, right? He's pro-life, whatever. But it's like, dude, I don't care about minimum wage not being up since like 2008. I don't care. Like, get a skill or a trade. Stop relying on government to baby you or to mother and father you. Problem solved, right? A lot of people, a high percentage of people are actually saying that Joe Biden will not run in 2024, right? I hope his ass don't run in 2024. His ass might be in a wheelchair by 2024. High gas prices, inflation, the infrastructure plan in my area, where is it? I don't see it. Wrong messaging towards immigration. His support for Ukrainians, sending over $13 billion to Ukrainians, but F the Palestinians. Him calling himself a Zionist, supporting President Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who calls himself a Zionist, who outwardly spoke about Israelis going through hardship from Hamas and Palestine, when literally asking the USA and begging USA for help for missiles and ammunitions and airplanes, right? But doesn't say a thing to what Palestinians go through from the $3.8 billion of money and tax dollars from this country that goes to Israel overseas. Don't like President Zelensky from Ukraine. I don't like it. And Dr. Lamont Hill from the Black News Network, I posted this on my Instagram page, JOA_media. I love this man. This is the reason why I bought his book, because he spoke the truth. This man, where is his book? This man spoke the truth on his YouTube channel in regards to the fake outrages going on with Ukraine. On the same week, he talked about Saudi Arabia bombing Yemen. On the same week, he talked about Israel bombing Syria. On the same week, he talks about how the Israeli settlers all the time go against international law and take ownership of Palestinian land, right? International law is illegal. International law is also going in Ukraine, but you only hear what's going on in Ukraine, right? Like, obviously the media has its target market and people that they want to serve, because this is all over the world. The media has power, right? But you don't hear in other countries, right? Dr. Lamont Hill said a word or three in his 5-minute video on the Black News Network YouTube channel. I posted it on my community page. When I tell you I gave him a standing ovation, I so did, because he was right. This is why I bought his book. And it says this: except for Palestine. It says the limit of progressive politics, except for Palestine, meaning progressives. They want free education. They want student loan forgiveness. They want free healthcare. They want so many things. But when it comes to Palestinians, it does not matter. It's like who, what, when, where, why. I see people on Twitter, black people even on Twitter, people calling Dr. Lamont Hill anti-Semite because he spoke with the United Nations seminar years ago about foreign policy and a whole over an hour speech, and towards the end he goes free Palestine from river to the sea, and CNN fired him, right? So it's a thing. Whenever you say Palestine, it's a thing. It's like, don't say that, that's bad, it's anti-Semitism, it's bad, right? Gigi Hadid said that she's going to donate her fashion money to Ukrainians and Palestinians. Vogue magazine picked up that story and quote tweeted her. They got backlash by people that are calling it anti-Semitism for her quote. So what does Journalism Dead do? What does Vogue magazine do? They took part of her quote out, which is anti-journalism because of her saying that she wants to donate a cause to Palestine as well. Then they decided to put it back in after a backlash again. You see what I mean? So he's right when it talks to the limits of progressive politics. You know, when it comes to Palestinians, right? It's like people want what they want here, but when it comes to other people that want the same thing, it's like, no, we ignore them, right? We ignore them. And so I appreciate him, and this is why I bought his book, and this is the person I want to support, right? And I would apply for a job. I'd be happy to apply for a job at that network, because I like people that speak that you don't hear on The View. Good wishes for Ukraine. They're being bombed, dude. How many times the United States of America bombed overseas for no damn reason? You know how many times we hear every year, or I have to hear every single day about a bomb that's going off in Palestinian territory, but you don't hear that in the media. But you know, everybody has this remorse for Ukraine. The only reason this is as big as it is because Russia is involved. When two places are involved, Iran or Russia, with any country in the world, you know, on a legal international law standpoint, this country, United States of America, gets scared, right? They want to be concerned and they want to aid because they don't want those two places to have anything else, right? So fuck all the outrage. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know, if you haven't watched, and I wanted to do a video on it today, but y'all, I'm in a bad mood. I don't got, you know, I'm in it, like, I don't got time. I was like, I posted it on my Instagram page. He spoke truth. And matter of fact, let me go on my Instagram and show y'all what he said. You know, I respect the man so much, you know, because he's not a corporate media juggernaut. He speaks, you know, what The View is scared to say, what CNN is scared to say, right? You know, this is why he got fired from them, because, you know, he's scared. I mean, they're scared of the truth, right? And he blames media outlets, and he blames people for ignoring this and being disingenuous and being dishonest, right? It's 4 minutes, but I'm going to play the part that stood out to me.
International community in great detail. Ukrainian situation.
Hold on.
As soon as Russia invaded Ukraine and the war broke out, everybody around the world was almost unanimous in its support for the Ukrainian people. Everybody stood up and spoke out about how this was wrong, and they talked about the humanitarian cost, and they talked about sympathy. They sent their prayers. They did all the things you do when bad things happen to people who don't deserve it. I ain't mad at that. That is cool. Here's my issue. The international community, specifically powerful nations, media outlets, and everyday citizens, especially white ones, have been so dishonest, so disingenuous, and also so mean-spirited in many ways in regard to how they are responding to what's going on in the Ukraine. Let's start with the dishonesty and the disingenuousness. When the war broke out in Ukraine, you got countries running around talking about we stand with the Ukrainian people. This is a contravention of international law. We must recognize and respect territorial boundaries and integrity. We must allow people to be sovereign and govern themselves. We must honor treaties. We must do all this stuff. And that sounds good, except many of the nations who are standing up and saying this stuff. Australia, did you do that with the Aborigines? No. The United States, how many countries have we invaded? How many countries have we bombed? How much territorial integrity and sovereignty have we ignored? How much funding have we given the nations that do it? Israel continues to not honor the territorial boundaries and sovereignty of the Palestinian people. They continue to violate international law. So for all these countries to stand up and speak with crocodile tears about the Ukrainian people, and they don't say anything about things that are happening around the world, it's disturbing to me. It's also really problematic that we're having these conversations as if this is the first place or the first time that this happened. The very same week that the Ukrainian people were harmed by Russia, Israel is bombing Syria. Saudi Arabia is bombing Yemen. Bombings are happening all around the world, and it seems like the only people who got sympathy were the Ukrainian people. The only people who got international love and prayers and declarations and statements made were the European folk, the white folk, not the brown folk, damn sure not the black folk. Why? I think we got a simple answer. And that answer is white supremacy.
I'm gonna end it on that. So, anyways, he spoke a word or three on that whole situation. He spoke a word or three. He's right. He is right. On the same week, Saudi Arabia got into it with Yemen. Israel bombed Syria. Israel continuously goes against international law and is trying to occupy more land in Palestinian territory, right? And while I feel like this is Putin's narrative and his motive as to what he's doing, because it always is. When you go to war, you want more land, right? That's what you want. You want their resources, right? And I am remorseful to that situation. I really am. But what I don't like is that it is selective remorse from media, right? From this country, from corporate media, from people, right? And it's not all the time people's faults, because a lot of people are ignorant. They're not knowledgeable. They don't pay attention to what is going on. They just live in their own bubble. And, sometimes, you may just receive these algorithms on your phone, because literally 80% of people absorb news from their phone. So they're not aware of what's going on in other places of the world. But the problem is the media is. These politicians are aware. Journalists are aware, right? But it's selective. And I don't like that. It shouldn't be selective, right? It should not be. It should not be at all. We should acknowledge Puerto Rico. We should acknowledge Syria, Libya. These places are only acknowledged when we want something from them. And when we want something from them, that's when war happens, right? This is when Joe Biden, this is when Barack Obama, this is when George W. Bush, this is when these type of people ends up using military for the wrong reasons. And this is what I don't like about America and what they do. And this is why I have limited trust in government, because as someone that comes from that, and as someone who has seen what this country does in places just to get oil, whatever, what have you, it's not right. It's not right. And I'm tired of it. And I'm just tired about hearing about Ukraine, because it just pisses me off. Each time I hear about it, it pisses me off, right? And karma happened. And unfortunately, karma happened to the wrong people. Instead of karma happening to the president, it happened to the civilians of Ukraine, because you have a president who calls himself a Zionist. President Zelensky of Ukraine calls himself a Zionist, and he is notable for being pro-Israel. And he is notable for not being remorseful as he is now to the people of his own of his own region. He's not being remorseful to the people of Palestine, right? He's okay with that. He's okay with what they're going through, right? He's okay with that. And unfortunately, karma hit the wrong area. Instead of karma hitting his ass, it hit the civilians, right? And so he's asking money, resources, and stuff from this country to be aided to him, right? And Joe Biden just simply gave it to him like this. Like this. Fuck the Palestinian people. Fuck it. Fuck the Michigan Dearborn mayor, the first Lebanese Muslim Dearborn mayor that sent Joe Biden the letter. Joe Biden got it, ignored it. Fuck Rashida Tlaib, who acknowledged the Palestinian issue with Joe Biden. Joe Biden ignored. Fuck that. You know, but let's help people that look like they got blonde hair and blue eyes. That's fine. That's okay. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like, you know. And so I'm just tired of this corporate journalism bullshit, right? This is not real journalism. It's corporate. It's selective, right? It's selective remorse, and I'm just tired of it. I'm highly tired of it. So he spoke a word, and I was very proud that I have his book, because he speaks lots of words in his book, stuff that I don't even know that happened, right? And so I'm over it, and I'm tired of it. And it's like this Ukrainian stuff this past 2-3 weeks. I'm tired of it, y'all. I just can't wait till it finishes, because I'm just tired of hearing it. Each time I hear anything Ukraine, I think of the Middle East, because I'm tired of this selective outrage and selective remorse that we have, and as a society, it's sickening. It's so damn sickening. It really is. And I wish it would stop. I really do. So, but the View won't talk about it. The View's not going to talk. The View's corporation. They're not going to talk about that. You know, they're not. They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about that. So yeah, it just pisses me off. That's all. And it's like, I know, like, I shouldn't be stressed over this, because, you know, there's only certain issues that are within my control, and I can't control what's going on worldwide. I can only control my own actions and my own thoughts. But I don't know, y'all, it just pisses me off. You know, this is why I'm in a bad mood, because when I keep hearing Ukraine, it's like, you know, it pisses me off. But yeah, so I'm a fan of Dr. Lamont Hill. You know, and unfortunately, what I'm speaking of and what I'm talking about is not popular in media, or it doesn't give enough clicks in media. It's kind of like how Monique has been doing for several years, talking about how she was blacklisted from people that look like her because she didn't want to go overseas, because she was non-contractually obligated to go to overseas to promote the independent film Precious, right? Did you know it was an independent film, right? She didn't expect that movie to get 40 something million dollars in the box office and it being this international phenomenon. She didn't expect that, right? And it's like, when you say no, or when you speak out against, when you tell the truth, you're honest, you're blackballed, you're blacklisted, you're called names, you know. And so it's like, the woman has proof that Tyler Perry told her you're not wrong. Oprah even told her you're not wrong. And so because she did not want to comply with the hotel room, as she puts it, as it's like, now we're going to make sure that every single person in Hollywood does not hire you, right? So I'm glad that someone like 50 Cent spoke out and called out Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and say, hey, you guys need to apologize to this woman, and I'm going to put her on my show called Power, right? And so I'm glad that 50 Cent is going to give her a hookup. You know, despite 50 Cent's trolling, what he does on Instagram, I'm happy that he's actually calling out and using his boldness for a good reason, right? And so I'm happy that Monique is finally going to get the embodiment of success that she deserves, because she has an Oscar. She deserves it. I hate when people say flowers. I'm gonna give her flowers. I don't like that term. You know, I don't like that, you know, because she deserves success. And individual level, you have to be strong, be the change you're looking for. Love you more than cook. I appreciate you, Patricia. Super chats are appreciated. Super chats are appreciated. I'm just in a bad mood because I'm just tired about hearing Ukraine. I'm tired of it. Y'all went to Zoe's Kitchen today, and you're like, how are you? And I was like, I know how are you here in New Orleans simply just mean hello. It doesn't mean like how I'm actually feeling, but I'm tired of this Ukrainian propaganda bullshit. You know, she's like, oh, okay, wow. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's like, I'm tired of it. You know, I'm tired of it. So Yeah, it's just like the media is toxic. It's so damn toxic, man. It's like the View's not going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about it. There's a reason why Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib never been on the View before, despite the fact that Ilhan Omar has been talked about at least once a week last administration, right? And at least once a month or at least once every 2 months this administration. They're not going to invite her on. They're not, because corporate interests don't like who she is. They don't like that she's a black Muslim woman. They don't like that. They're not going to invite her on the show. Trevor Noah invited her on the show because they're particularly from the same continent, right? They're both from Africa, right? And so they both know what apartheid and what living under underdeveloped situations is, because they both had to live under tumultuous situations. So he invited her on the show, but the View is never going to invite Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib on. They're not, because they're corporate. They're not going to do that. They're not. The people behind the scenes are not. They don't like that. They don't. Right. And it proves to me that it's true, because when Whoopi got suspended, although I was siding with what she said was wrong, I even commented on the president of the news network's Instagram page, and I was like, as a Palestinian, what Whoopi said was wrong. She deleted my comment because, again, Palestine is a stigma. It's a bad thing to say. It's seen as controversial, right? And for a black woman to delete that comment on her Instagram page tells me, okay, although she follows me and I have proud Palestinian America in my bio, I'm just like, okay, why you gotta delete it? Why? What for? Like, okay, you may have people following you that work for you, your bosses, but that you shouldn't have to delete that comment. So that tells me where they stand on ABC. That tells me where they stand on which I already knew, because they had the co-founders on The View years ago, Tamika Mallory and the Jewish girl. They didn't invite Linda Sarsour, who's a Palestinian woman from New York, and she was the co-founder of the Women's March. They invite her on. Whoopi called her anti-Semitic. They call her Whoopi literally said, no, that's the other girl that's anti-Semitic. They're talking about Linda Sarsour, So, yeah, just like The View serves corporate masters as well, unfortunately. So he's like, dude, I'm just like, 50 Cent's action is doing it, but his words are not nice. I love him if you have to choose between saying sweet words. Yeah, but I give him credit for what he's doing now. Usually what he does is very off base. And I'm like, dude, call your 26, 27-year-old son that you didn't take care of, but with this situation, this is good for society, for her to, to work. Because, being honest in Hollywood is seen as complicated. You're complex, you're problematic. We don't want to deal with you, and so being a yes person is more accepted in Hollywood. So I give it up for Monique, because it's hard. I'm sure it's hard. 2008, I believe that movie came out, and I remember when it came out because I watched it. I got the bootleg version. Not only did I get the bootleg version, y'all, I got the free version, okay? Bootleg. Ain't that ghetto? I got the free. Someone gave it to me. I watched it when I was in high school. I got the free version, all right? This was not in 2008. I think it was 2008 when Precious came out. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to give you the bootleg version, and I'm not buying it. I'm borrowing it, So yeah, it's like honesty is frowned upon in Hollywood. Being honest, being honest. Like DL man allegedly, Tyler Perry telling Monique that she gotta apologize to him and Oprah. For what? I mean, okay, she went on a little comedic tour and said some things, but what comedians do. But y'all did her wrong so many damn years. Come on now, come on. Why she gotta apologize? For what? For what? So yeah, I'm hoping 50 Cent don't even need to call him out, dude. Just put her on Power. Like, you got your own show. They got nothing to do with you. You're not linked to Oprah. You're not linked to Tyler Perry. Put her on the show. You don't even have to have them. I would ignore them. But unfortunately, when you have powerful people like Oprah and Tyler Perry, they're so interconnected with other people, with other directors, that it's very hard for you to work. But with someone with the caliber of Monique, I'm sure she can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are separated from that clique in Hollywood for her to get jobs, because she's still working. So, to be aligned with 50 Cent, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. But yeah, y'all, it's like my mind is like racing. Old girl Teresa, she said I'm confused. I was like, damn well I'm confused. I'm confused. Baby, I am confused, right? I'm confused. So but yeah, and then earlier today I released a video. I just don't understand why people expect me to support Joe Biden in order for them to subscribe to my channel. I'm like, dude, like if I gotta support Joe Biden in order for my subscribers to go up, then I'm in the wrong business because I'm not a yes person. I do not support Joe Biden. I do not support Kamala Harris. I will never support Joe Biden. I will never support Kamala Harris. I supported him regrettably when he was with Obama the first time, right? No, I'm not. I don't, and I regret that, right? I never, no, because your politics in line as a person of color, minority, your politics aligns with your skin color, right? So why can't my politics align with my skin color and who I am as a person, right? Isn't that fair? Right? Isn't that fair? Isn't that fair? For me to say, since your politics more than likely aligns with who you are, where your roots come from, why can't my politics align with who I am and where my roots come from, right? So with Joe Biden calling himself a Zionist and aiding Israel with billions of dollars every year and supporting terrorism and supplying them with money of our tax dollars that we work hard for, why can I not say I don't like him for you guys to stay on? That doesn't make sense. I'm not a yes person, I'm not, and I understand YouTube targets people who lean left or support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but I don't support them. I don't support Kamala. I don't support Kamala. I don't support Donald. I don't support anybody. As someone where I come from, there's no sitting president that I probably would support, just saying, just an FYI, So, hey, Jocelyn, how are you? And with me speaking some truth, just 5 people just unsubscribe, and that's okay. Like, I don't care. I don't. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be a yes person and say, oh, I love Kamala Harris. She is a woman because she's a woman, because she is half Asian and half black. And, she broke the glass ceiling. Well, she broke it in bed with Willie Brown in California. So she definitely broke it. I'm not going to sit here and do that because she's a woman of color, or just because she's black, or I should say, oh, I'm here to support Pete Buttigieg because he's the first gay white man to make it. Now he's a Secretary of Transportation. Should I support the man because he's part of LGBTQIA, or because he actually knows how to do the job and speak some sense to the American people? I'm not supporting him because of his sexuality or I'm not rolling from the skin color. Representation is important, but what's most important to me is what you can do. And what can you do is often lacking versus how you look. How you look and where you come from often supersedes what you can do in today's climate. And I'm more of what can you do, So what can you do is what I'm more of, right? And unfortunately, what can you do is not linked with, it doesn't supersede how you look and where you come from. So like, yeah, we're not doing that. At least not at this channel. Y'all at the wrong channel. So I don't see him running. If he does running, I don't see him getting a lot of support. And I'm definitely not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of her at all. But if we still in this pandemic, I know who I'm voting for. And it definitely is not a Democrat. So anyways. But yeah, y'all, that's my TED Talk. That's my TED Talk. And hopefully by next week, no more Ukraine, no more of that stuff going on in the media. I don't have to hear about it because it's annoying. It's a headache and it's frustrating that they're getting so much media coverage that other people around the world aren't getting the same type of remorse, aid, and coverage. This is how it is. But if you're a person of faith, you do know God does the karma, okay? God does the karma. But yeah, let me get out of here. Thank you so much for supporting.